Okay, greetings everyone. My name is Neo and I'm here to share some info. I want to get to the point. Now this video here, which is audio only, and I want to speak to you about also about why I've been doing a lot of these audio onlys. In the past I started off my spiritual videos with my camera, my digital camera, my Sony C.R.S.A back then. Then I went to my HTC Evo. Then I went to my, my iPhone 4G, whatever, iPhone 4, yeah. And when I would utilize those, I noticed that the sound quality, the further the phone or the camera was away from me, the lower the sound quality was. Is. So that's what I want everybody else who are utilizing consumer video camcorders, is the further you are from your subject, the lower the sound quality is. So for me, the remedy for that is I'm utilizing my studio mic recording software that allows me to record my lectures and any other type of audio in loud, crisp sound, as you can hear now. And I like this because it's perfect. And when it comes to speaking, me getting out very vital information, I really want to have loud, crisp sound. So that's the reason why you see more audio only videos on my channel versus the video. That's the number one thing. But I'll eventually, once I get more of my high quality video camcorders, that's what I'm working on, then you'll see more videos of me. But anyways, to the point. This video here, this recording here is about arrogant lecturers. Throughout the past year and a half or so, I've began to recognize all of these arrogant lecturers. And these are lecturers, they're spiritual, metaphysical lecturers, and also people of New Age, this New Age crap. And I still plan on doing a recording on New Age, the New Age bullshit, so I can help people recognize what's really going on. Because I really thought about this New Age stuff, and I got involved with it unconsciously. And then, fortunately, I woke up from it. But anyways, I'm gonna start with me first. Throughout my past videos before this year, I'll say before 2015, I've noticed all of my videos where I was purely in ego. And let me tell you this, the ego, one of the top things that it deals with is arrogance, over talking, and it's unbalanced. It's all over the place. There's very little to no balance of it. So keep that in mind throughout this audio. And then the spirit deals with balance, calmness, relaxation, and also humble. Keep that in mind. Now, I recognized all of predominantly my videos where I was in pure ego, where I was in ego mode and I was speaking from the ego and I was very arrogant. Those ones where I was purely ego, I deleted them. The ones that was on my page, because as I raised my consciousness, my spiritual levels and my emotional levels, I was able to perceive how much ego was coming out of my mouth in my videos. So once I did that, I'm a lot more conscious of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it through my videos and my recordings now. So I handled my part, and now I take my time throughout my speeches to make sure that I have control and I filter my ego versus allowing the spiritual self to come out with spiritual information without the arrogance. And now, recently, for the past year or so, I began to recognize these arrogant lecturers and also so-called spiritual celebrities. That's my name for them, just like my spiritual celebrity video. If you haven't seen that yet, it talks about one spiritual celebrity who he is highly popular in the conscious spiritual community. A lot of people really, really follow him and they know him. And there are some people like me who woken up to what he's been doing. And one thing that he's been doing that woke me up to what he's really doing is his arrogance. His arrogance is like this nasty energy, this stinky energy around him that every time I listen to him, now that my extra senses have been activated, I've been able to perceive that he's not the higher being that he perceives himself. He portrays himself to be. It's his nasty arrogance. And what I want to say is, a person rises spiritually, the more humble they are. And you just have this natural humbleness that comes down around you. There's no need to force yourself to be humble. You just feel it. It just comes out. And then once you raise spiritually, your other senses kick in. And then you're able to identify when people are genuine versus when people are deceitful and they're in their ego. And there's a lot of these metaphysical lecturers and spiritual people, the spiritual YouTube channelers who share spiritual knowledge, metaphysical facts and stuff like that. However, the majority, a large portion of them are still arrogant. And the reason why most people aren't able to perceive this is because they're still depending on their five senses. And once a person gets stuck into believing that their five senses are the only senses that they have, then they fall victim to whatever a person puts in front of them. That is the reason why a lot of people can't perceive that a large portion of these metaphysical lecturers, these people that share this so-called higher consciousness information, a lot of them are still on lower levels of lower human levels, and they haven't risen to higher spiritual levels. And then once they do their studying, what they do is, and these arrogant people, what they do is they get a little knowledge, they get all excited about it, and then their ego kicks in, making them think that they're higher than other people, than everybody else. And then they'll come through, oh, da 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 da, and da 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 da. Oh, I'm on this level, and I'm this, and I can do this, and I'm better than this person, and yada yada yada. Then they start speaking down on other people. That's what a lot of these spiritual information givers do. And if you go back, and if you have decoded my coded video titled YouTube Spiritual Celebrity, and if you know who I'm talking about in that video, then you know that this person is one of the top people that speaks down on other people. If a person is on a high spiritual level, they don't feel a need to speak down on other people. And in particular, bash them in like really, really bad ways. Some people, I can see if you bash them You do the bashing on the ones that's keeping other people down spiritually, like the controllers of this society, the influencers of this society. I can see how some people talk about the Illuminati, the so-called Illuminati, and whoever else. I can see them bashing on them as far as speaking bad about them. But as far as the people who are on a lower spiritual level and you did your work and you're on a higher one, that doesn't mean that you have the right to beat down on the other people, especially if you are a person who, if the other person is supposed to be a teacher of any sort. If you're a person supposed to be a teacher of any sort, then you are supposed to be the most humble and giving your information to your students in a humble way. There's no ego that needs to be involved at all. But then you see a lot of these people, they get so high on their ego, they present it to the public as if the public is supposed to be on, as if the public is already on their level, and because they're not on their level, they beat down on them. And they might not necessarily come out and say that you are stupid because you're not on my level. They might not necessarily say it, but it's their energy behind the words that they're saying. That's what you got to identify with it. And once you get on your higher senses, then you're able to identify the energy that's behind people's words, their tones, and their actions. Because now when I sit down and while I'm seeking to study this on YouTube, and I go through different metaphysical channels and metaphysical videos, I'm able to see almost instantly, if not instantly, the arrogance of the person. And that's when I realized that, all right, this person, he's another one that just studies. And they're not really giving the information for the sake of helping people raise themselves up. They're just giving the information because it makes their ego feel good. It rubs their ego and it inflates their ego, especially when other people write comments. Oh, thank you for the video. You are amazing and yada, yada, yada. It just inflates the person's ego. And then the person will say something like, oh, I don't take it too seriously. I don't take it to my ego and yada, yada, yada. But based on the way that they're speaking throughout their videos, that they still lose their ego. Lose control of their ego. And then it comes through and they start talking crap. So keep that in mind when you're listening to these people, these YouTube people, and especially these YouTube metaphysical lecturers. Pay attention to the energy of the words that's coming behind, the energy that's coming behind their words and their actions. Pay attention to the actions and really see if they're teaching from the heart and they're genuine. Because genuine, how can I say it? I don't know how to say the word, but I'll just say genuinity. Genuosity. It's a frequency. I'll explain it the best way possible because I can feel it. When a person is genuine, it's a soft energy that radiates from them, from their words, from their deeds, and just their overall energy when they just stand in a room, or they can be standing in a video. And I just sit there and look at them and I know which ones are genuine. But the arrogant ones, the arrogant energy, it's a rough edged type energy that's unbalanced. And it goes up and down, left, right, up, down, left, right. And it's hard. It's a hard, nasty energy. And you can feel it coming from them. And if it's like the ringing sound when Neo from the Matrix, if you remember Neo from the Matrix, when Morpheus said, keep still, either Morpheus or one of them said, keep still, it's going to hurt a little bit. And he jacked the thing inside the back of Neo's head for the first time, and then they ended up in the construct. in the first Matrix movie, and then Neo experienced that loud noise. You can hear that when he went into before he went into the construct. It's that noise right there. That's the type of energy that I feel when people are speaking from their ego, and it's an arrogant energy and it's not genuine. Just like that. Let me give you an example of a genuine hearted individual. For those people who are in the so-called conscious community, metaphysical community, who know of Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett, I really, really like Bobby Hemmett. And for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been connecting with him the most above any other metaphysical lecturer at all. Any of them. This brother is one of the very few lecturers that I can literally listen to for hours straight and enjoy it. And once he's done, I'm like, okay, I want more. I want more. And that's why I download so many of his videos and I listen to them like at night. At night, I was just sitting on the couch, just listening to him. And in fact, a large part of my days is just sitting there watching his videos, just soaking in the information over and over again. And I came to the conclusion, and this is all after I raised myself spiritually and accessed my other senses. I came to the conclusion that this dude is a really, really genuine dude. He is highly humble. Yes, every so often he'll come through with the confidence of the things that he's saying, and he'll be arrogant just a little bit, and sometimes he'll say it, but he's conscious of his ego, and he keeps his ego in check, and he is one of the very few people who keeps his ego in check when he's delivering this important information to the public. And when I listen to him, and then when I go off and I listen to a lot of these other metaphysical lecturers, I'm like, it's just like there's something missing. It's like they give all of this high knowledge and they have these big, huge words and these concepts, and it's all beautiful. But if you really look at it, they still got that egotistical arrogance that comes through, and that just really doesn't feel right. You're like, you know, a few of y'all know what I mean. It just doesn't feel right when that happens. But I've learned to focus more on the information and pull that out, and then just do my best to extract all of the egotistical information. Although there's some people just like, all right, fuck it, he got too much ego coming through, I don't want to listen to him, so I just move on to the next one. Or even if it's a female or a group of people. Let me see here. What else do I want to bring to your consciousness? That's pretty much it. Yeah. So keep in mind that a lot of these people that you might listen to and you might subscribe to, a lot of them are just people who study extremely hard. They read a lot of books and watch a lot of YouTube videos, but they never really do their own spiritual work. And I'm talking about their own spiritual work and getting information from themselves, and for themselves from the spirit side, and the information comes through. And I'm telling you, energetically, there is a difference. There's a difference between a person who sits and reads books a lot, and then comes on YouTube and just share the information, versus the people who studies heavily, including the reading the books, including the meditations, including the higher energy work and the observation of life, and getting information, thinking deeply on it, and then humbly giving it to the public. And it's coming through in a humble way. And you as the listener, you're like, oh, this feels good. This is really coming through. I'm not saying that the people who read the books are bad and negative, But it's just the arrogant ones who try to act like they're better than other people. Those are the ones you want to be aware of. And you don't want to follow them as if they're a higher being than you, as many YouTube spiritual lecturers like to portray, as if they're higher beings than you, when a lot of them just watch a lot of the metaphysical lecturers. They take their information and then they present it as if it's their own information. That's what a lot of them do. So keep that in mind. All right, that's enough. I had to get that across. All right, till next time.